Wow, this is an intimidating room. Honestly, the ceiling is so high. And this is just a reading room? I wonder what the actual archives look like. Probably terrifying caverns with candles and ancient dusty volumes of forbidden lore, guarded by gargoyles or something. You're right, those are for buildings, my bad. Okay, well, it was nice of Calix to let us in at least, and set us up with the research. I wonder if he enjoyed pulling all these books. He probably did, actually. He seems to genuinely love his work, even if he gives me a weird vibe, which I should probably not talk about here. I know he said not to leave this room, but do you think we'd actually get in any trouble? Could we pretend to be looking for the bathroom or something? Dunno, just think it might be good to look around, maybe see what we can see, or what we can hear. Something about this place. It feels so sinister. And that's especially strange given that these are my people. I should be comfortable around them. Glad it's not just me, I guess. And no, it's not just because of their veiled threat nonsense. It's more than that. It's like this place pulses with bad intentions. Or corrupted power. Something is just off. But I guess today isn't the day to get to the bottom of it. Besides, this room is probably listening. I don't see anything either, but that doesn't mean there aren't ways to listen in. I'm sure we're not as private as we seem in here. So we should probably be careful. Yeah, we should do what we came to do. The sooner done, the sooner we can get out of here and go home. Okay, you take that stack, I'll take this stack. We should be careful handling these. Some of these are pretty fragile, it looks like. Oh wait, here's a note from Calix. It says, "Wear these gloves when you handle the books and scrolls. Do not use your bare hands. Be very careful. Call if you need anything." That explains that then. This pouch must have the gloves. Here's yours. Yeah, for sure, we don't want to damage them. I'm sure they'd never let us come back after that, except to maybe put us on trial for destroying ancient property. I know, it doesn't seem like much, does it? But I don't think Calix would hold out on us. This is probably all they have. Or all he could access, at least. He doesn't really stand to gain by keeping anything from us, does he? Not that we know if he did. True, we know there really isn't that much research out there on angel-human hybrids. It's been forever since there was one to study. Angels haven't been here for... yeah, at least. This is some ancient stuff. I bet most of this is only here, like the only copies are here. We know for sure the registry doesn't have access to most of this. Their records are thin at best, mostly digital, not well curated beyond the past few hundred years. And somehow I suspect that these books were never submitted to be scanned into some database. Well, no, they should be, just to preserve them. Can you imagine if a spark went off in the archives? So much would be lost. If they're smart, they'll back up all of it sooner rather than later. But I doubt the council lets the registry anywhere near these sorts of texts. They wouldn't want anything to happen to them, and they also probably don't want all this knowledge being just given away. These predate the registry by a lot. They harken back to the days when vampires hunted humans actively. There's a lot in them, probably. A lot of old tales, a lot of superstitions, some old magic, some sensitive details, probably all that and more. The council plays nice with the human government, but they like to keep their secrets. They won't share anything if they don't have to. Shrouding everything in mystery suits them. They know knowledge is power, and they don't just give away power, they hoard it. Exactly. Ancient dusty books are probably a secret they keep very close. Us? No, I'm not worried. Even though we can be pretty sure they're watching and listening right now. They're protective, but not entirely paranoid, at least not to the point of stupidity. They know I won't sell them out. At the end of the day, I don't have any loyalty to the registry, no matter how much the council creeps me out. I'm not particularly interested in helping or harming either of them. I'm fine with putting up with them and getting what I can out of them and generally playing nice all the way around. It tends to make things easier. I won't be stealing any documents or sharing any secrets. They left us in here in pseudo-privacy out of a small measure of trust. They can be pretty confident that I'll just get the information we need and leave it at that. I don't want to get involved in the politics. Can you hand me a notebook, please? One of the ones we brought? I want to be able to take notes. Thank you. Okay, gloves on? Great. Let's get to the bottom of what's going on with you. Oh, for sure. Whatever's in these books, at least a few of the scribes here already know. Calix for sure. He makes it his business to know things. We could, and that would save us some time, but do you think he'd tell us the truth? Would we trust that he had the whole truth? It's better to do our own research, I think, even if it takes a while. It's not like we have anything better to do right now. Besides, I like diving into musty old books with you. Of course. I know this is important and pressing and a bit stressful, but it's also fun. You and me, elbow deep in history, holding books that are hundreds of years old, if not older. Books written by long-dead scholars in long-dead times. This is pretty amazing stuff, honestly. Imagine what these books have seen, what shelves they've sat on, the sorts of people who held them over the years. I know. I'm taking it as seriously as a heart attack, I promise. You know you're the most important thing to me. And whatever's been happening to you, we need to get to the bottom of it. We need the answers, and we need to alert as few people as possible while we figure it out. So this is our best shot, for now anyway. I'm taking it as seriously as possible. I can't even imagine what I would do if I lost you. I'd rather not think about it. Oh, I'd survive, you know me. But I'd be very, very sad. And very angry. I might seek vengeance, depending on the situation. Darling, I would. I promise you that much. I would live my life and try to be as happy as possible. I would move forward as best I could. I would honor your memory by not losing myself. But I would very much rather not do any of those things without you. Not now, not ever. You're my sweetness. And if I can make sure you don't leave me too early, I'm going to do it. Starting with these books. Okay? Okay. Now then. This book has a lot of different hybrids in it. The angel-human section is only a few pages. And it's so speculative. Oh, some of this isn't even right. I think there were some liberties taken with this. They might not ever have met an angel-human hybrid when they wrote this. Well, for starters, it says you should have about 18 eyes. You clearly do not, right? Unless you're hiding some from me. And it says your skin should be bright red, like a demon. Strike two, unless we go to the beach and you forget your sunscreen. It didn't occur to me that these books might be less than accurate. But historical texts sometimes have historical inaccuracies. Especially when they just didn't have the knowledge to go on. That adds yet another layer that we need to wade through. What's truth and what's complete fabrication. I guess having you here will help. It's helped already. But I think I'm going to switch to this little book. Barely a pamphlet, honestly. The Taxonomy of Human Angel Offspring and Related Abominations. That's a cheerful title. Really brings out the gravity of the situation while also sounding super boring. How you doing over there, my lovely abomination? What? What language is it? Well, that's not helpful. At least this one's in English. Actually, this might be something. There's a section on physical health and structure, and it mentions a few things in a vague way. Angel-human hybrids are typically quite healthy, we knew that. Resistant to disease, yada yada. Structural differences. Oh, it mentions the eye thing, so this one clearly does have some experience with people like you. It mentions something that it calls the affliction. It just says the affliction. Sounds interesting. Angel human offspring are prone to developing the affliction in early to mid-adulthood. Hang on, I'm just going to turn this around so you can read it and I don't end up dictating it to anyone else. I know, but still, I'm not going to make it any easier for them. Here, read this part. Yep, that jumped out at me too. Here, I want to write some of this down. Not all of it seems to match, but enough of it that... Yeah. I think so. What else could it be, right? Okay, so, if this is right, you're not the first to experience what you've been experiencing. It seems to have happened before, but even this book doesn't have much information. I wonder if angel hybrids used to keep to themselves back when there were more of them around. I wouldn't blame them, and that would explain why there's so few records about them. Can't really study those who avoid being studied. Okay, well, this is a start. It's not much, but it's a start. Let's see if they have any treatments or suggestions for dealing with this affliction. Not really. Just a few observations, some of which seem second or third hand. Hang on, I found something. This mentions a stone, some sort of mineral that can focus and channel the angel energy so that it burns off harmlessly instead of what it currently does. This is anecdotal, but there's a paragraph here about a hybrid who wore one of these stones and swore by it. He lived to a ripe old age if this is true. I mean, there's no way to know. Back then, they thought humors had to be balanced and bleeding people was a treatment for most things. They were wrong a lot. And wearing a special rock might have been entirely pointless. But... Exactly, that's my thought too. Anything at this point might help. But we need to figure out what the stone actually is. It doesn't say, not in modern terms. It describes it like a tear of gold cried by the gods. That's nice. Good description. Super unhelpful. Well, at least we have a lead. Better than nothing. This tiny little dusty old book gave us a tiny little lead. I will take it. I know. Everything we've said, everything we've looked up, they'll know what we know soon enough, if they don't already. But we still have some leverage. Our own potential hybrid offspring. And if the council wants us to play nice, they will play nice with us. Oh, I'm counting on them listening to that part. Okay, sweetness, let's check out the rest of these books, see if we can figure out anything else about this affliction, or maybe about the stone, and then we can go from there. Absolutely. We'll get to the bottom of this, and then you'll live to a ripe old age with me. Sorry, you're not going to be rid of me that easily. Here, hand me that next book. We have a ways to go. Hey, Sweetness. Special shout out to this audio's randomly selected Sweetness patron, Cold Pocket. Thank you so much to all my patrons for keeping this channel going. If you like what you hear, be sure to hit the subscribe button below. And check out the links in the description for my other channels and ways to support me. Thanks for listening.